Aloha and welcome to our Brain Foundation video here at the Academy of Brain Bliss. We are so grateful you found us here, and we want to offer you some information as well as recommendations for some of our foundational programs. So, with unresolved trauma, what we have come to discover is there are three main factors involved. And that can be from head injury, concussion, brain trauma, or any other physical trauma, emotional, mental, spiritual, sexual. They all have an impact on the brain. So, what happens in the brain that we've come to discover here, and why we've created so many programs to assist you to overcome the debilitating effects of the patterns of trauma, to free yourself by connecting with your innate intelligence, with your supreme power, and the God of your understanding. So, the three main points we've discovered in the initial stages of recovering from brain trauma that we find very helpful, very significant. One is that we develop a shadow frequency and or what we call an imposter. Some people call it the pain body. And that pain body shadow frequency is very much linked to the primal survival brain and limbic brain. The limbic brain processes emotion that can create certain cascade of chemical neuropeptides meeting receptor sites that can become a habit, as opposed to one who is aligned, who is in command of their emotional state. And so this shadow seems to enjoy certain habits. For me, some of my habits involved over dramatization as well as a habit of fear or phobic thinking, and then getting trapped in isolation. So it is playing a role in helping us understand ourselves better, yet at the same time, it keeps us suffering and keeps us locked into the past and not fulfilling our destiny, not really lighting up ourselves from the inside out and then the world around us. So, this shadow or imposter that we speak of is a density, it's like a vibration. And this is why we love connecting with the whale tones, because they release a beautiful delta tone that meets this shadow, and it helps the body and the field of vibration to transform. It'll also assist us to understand when we're in our primal limbic processing brain and those old habits, and then how to get up into the higher brain, the newest neocortex. So that is foundational one point. Be aware that there is a shadow frequency, that yes, we can do something about it, and we want to, in fact, to take our lives to the next level. The second point is about the shadow frequency or imposter. Because it's a frequency, it attracts more to it. It's like a vacuum, what we call being stuck on repeat, which was Dr. Swingle of Swingle and Associates, the psychoneurophysiologist who met me and diagnosed my brain as having the brainwaves of a war veteran. He was the one who first asked me, would I like to get unstuck off the repeat cycle? And yes, I said yes, and tears were flowing down my eyes, and my nose was bubbling, and there was just so much uh, pain associated with being stuck on that repeat cycle. So the imposter body, which is like a density, which is shadow, which is hidden, unresolved, deep unconscious programs, subconscious programs, wants to awaken. In fact, it's like we attract more to us to wake us up. So there really isn't any accidents in the big picture of our journey of life. Even if it looks like there's these accidents, they're always a gift and there's always an opportunity if we're willing to look at it that way. So the repeat cycle is another very important factor, because the brain from trauma gets what Dr. Hamer of German New Medicine calls a hyperlock, what we call or envision it as like a helmet that sends out certain signals but keeps us safe, if you will, in a certain capacity. But we really want that capacity to grow in order to connect more with our divine purpose, our divine life, with health and wholeness and well being. And so, not only do we have shadow imposter frequency, we also have the shadow looping, keeping us stuck on repeat, keeping us in that what we'd call like insanity of looping. And that can look like attracting more traumas, like it did for me, 7 concussions later, and then all of the PTSD symptoms and the distortion and dysfunction that comes from that. So we want to really capitalize on optimizing the brain function, on reducing that shadow. And then the third point about our foundation here is to really get that you and I have this brilliant brain inside of here, what we liken to a musical instrument that really simply is needing a beautiful tuning. And how do we tune it? Well, we dematerialize shadow, so dense delta vibration, and we boost the tuning of, let's say, the brain waves and the electrical current within the brain that allows for new birth to take place, including things like stem cells. So, having the awareness of this epic musical instrument that you have is massive in the foundational journey of your recovery. And how do we do that? Well, we have 3 main signature programs that we would recommend for beginning stages into recovery to go along with whatever else you're doing with your medical professional. That is our Power of 333 Brain Bliss Masterclass. It's a 12-week journey with video and audio and written content support, as well as our 12-week Body Bliss Dance-a-thon. It's 90 days with a learning of 24 moves. That's part of the Power of 333. As you do those dance moves every week and every day, in fact, actually, you are blending the left and right hemispheres, you're lighting up your brain coherence, you're gaining a level of awareness and understanding about your brain that may be very new for you. And it's exciting, it's fun, it's really an amazing instrument. So we're boosting it up with the dancing, but also with the transmissions in the video from the whale and dolphin families of light. So understanding the power of your brain and shifting shadow, bringing you back into alignment with your divinity, your supreme being, the self, the source, the one ultimate God creator, is very, very powerful in transforming your inner world and then your life on the outside. The other second program we recommend is our Concussion Recovery Masterclass. So again, 12, 13 videos as well as audio support, and it is a deep dive into more brain awareness, more neuroscience, more transmissions, and a support for your real brain awakening. And then we would look at our 555 Taming the Anxiety Dragon. It's another deep dive into understanding the patterns and programs of the shadow frequency, understanding the way that the brain competes with itself or competes with free will versus divine will, and may keep that basically that gap between your true self and the one that is in anxiety, that is in the wild, untamed nature of the emotions and the thinking, fears, phobias, that free will. So, Taming the Anxiety Dragon is another one we would suggest here at our Brain Foundation, support. So, thank you again for tuning in, and we're looking forward to diving into optimizing, advancing, and accelerating your brain function, your body function, your life to one of an incredible, magical journey where you are starting to really live your dreams and express yourself fully. So, thank you and blessings.